Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of LBI Style with Louis Shaw. I'm your host, Louis Shaw, and today I'm going to Garden State Surf and Art here on Long Beach Boulevard, meeting with Terrence, the incredible artist who did some great prints for me. Today I'm going to have some custom framing done. I'm also going to be discussing the idea of doing a custom dining table for our project in Holgate. Hey Terrence, how you doing?
Good, Louis. How are you?
Good. Glad that you could see me today. I came in, as you know, to look at some custom frames that you guys do here to go with those amazing prints that I picked up last week. Joanne was so kind, she let me put them over here, so we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So, listen, I was thinking about these different types of frames that you have here, and for me, I'm leaning towards something that has less of a profile. Nothing that's too bulky. Do you have something that you suggest?
Yeah, absolutely. So for a thinner frame, I would suggest, what do you think for colors?
Well, I want to stay within the whites and the
Okay.
grays. At least for those three that I got. Remember those gray ones?
Right.
Okay, so for those, I want to stay in that colorway.
Okay.
Maybe the grays can have a little undertone of like blue or green or something like that.
Okay.
That would be a nice contrast all for those.
Sure. Yeah, I'll bring a few over and we can hold them up.
Okay.
I feel like that's over here to kind of see it.
Sure.
And thinner, any of these can be cut down too, like some of these wider ones. Like I know, maybe interested in this one here so that this one can get cut down as well.
Oh yeah, well this is exactly what I was talking about.
Right.
That's great. That has the greens and the blues that I like with the gray undertones.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay. And this is most of the wood I use here, but doesn't mean that we can add to it or put like a gray wash or any kind of wash and then put another color on top. So
Well, that's great that you say that too,
Right.
actually, because I think we may have discussed this, but just to remind you, what I'd like to do is actually put a higher gloss onto the frame.
Okay.
Because I'm doing an integration of the old world with more of the modern
Okay.
design. So I love the old aged look of the frame. I love that rustic quality to it, and I'd like to try to capture some of that,
Okay.
but also by putting a higher gloss on that. Do you have any recommendations?
Sure, we can do that. Like a lacquer could seal it if you wanted to seal it, as well as like any color. Like we could put like an oil paint or a heavier color right on top of this for you.
Okay.
We could layer colors.
I think maybe for this one, it might be a great idea to actually put the sheen on without putting another surface, meaning I won't use the paint on this.
Okay.
Because if you can give me this more patinaed look
Right.
from underneath this
Right.
paint, then what I'd like to do is just maybe add the sheen to this.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
maybe if
absolutely.
we had something that was more rustic, oh, I see you have one here that has some old aged paint on
This
it.
one here.
Yeah. So now this one, I think that if I was to put a higher gloss paint on this, I still would get some of that aged look
Yeah, absolutely.
throughout
In
the
between,
frame,
right.
in between. Now that, I like that as its own look.
Okay.
So, because my idea is to take the specific style frames that we talked about and put them on the gray tones in those prints that you showed me.
Right.
Okay, I really like that combination. And then maybe if you could find something that has this more aged look,
Mm-hmm.
then I can use that for that other grouping of the ones with the cars.
Right.
I think that might be a great
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we can always sand and distress these even more if you wanted to.
Oh,
Like bring out more of those gray tones in there.
okay, that's
this
fantastic.
particular wood actually has it has the undertone. So if we were to sand, say this piece is a little more white.
Yeah.
If we were to sand that more, we can bring more of that out.
Oh, well then that's great, because I'd like to actually see more of that.
Okay.
Should we go over and
Absolutely.
check the
Yeah, sure. We
prints
can
out?
hold them
Okay.
up and take
Yeah.
a look. All right. So you're thinking these two, perhaps as a pairing, and then possibly pairing the other three.
Exactly. So I was going to pair these two together, and then these three that have the gray tones, they would get the one that we talked about that had the patina
Right.
underneath. And then we would actually just put a higher full gloss finish on that frame. So if I was to take this frame and pair it with this guy, I think that what I really love is the contrast of the gray tones with a little bit more of the green blues.
Absolutely.
So if we get more of that, that's gonna work for me.
Okay.
And this one, I was thinking possibly doing this one in this type of a frame and putting another paint over the top if it is that we can get frames that have a little bit more of this older chipped paint. I like the texture of it,
Right.
but we would need to protect it so it wouldn't flake off.
For sure. And you're thinking same for these, for the both of these?
For the both of those,
Okay.
exactly.
These
Yeah.
sizes are slightly different too.
Yes, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That doesn't make me mad.
Like
Does
it's
this
no.
one sit a little higher than this one?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
a
it-
little higher. Yeah.
That's one I think I like.
That-
I like that
bring
too.
it up a little bit.
Yeah, which
Yeah, I was
makes
gonna
that
say
the
that.
subject matter.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that's it.
Yeah, because your picture will be up.
And there's nothing in between them but the wall. I'm really excited about that. I like working with zero space. I like to keep things more clean and more open. And you can really create a focal point with using zero space. And these two will be staying as their own little collection together. That looks phenomenal. I'm so excited about the It's another reason why I have the crew I have, guys. Terrence is an incredible artist. He did all of these by hand himself, and they also framed them for me as well. Garden State, man, you guys are the best. So this will actually also pair with this grouping in the same room, but it'll be on a different wall. So this way you're bringing in a similarity to the collection. I like that.